Google alone. Dox means, you know how, you know what hacking means, right? Somebody hacks you, right? Scoping products. Scoping products. Jeff, you know when somebody hacks you, let's say somebody breaks into your website and takes credit card information. That's called hacking. That's called hacking. Okay, hacking is definitely illegal. If you get caught, you go to Zucking jail. The FBI gets you, and so on and so forth. So that is called not your site. Your site is protected. Yes, I checked your site out. Your site is secure. So doxing is the ability to glean information from you through various means of investigation on the internet. And if you investigate somebody on the internet, you can find a lot of information without having to hack. There's no need to actually hack. So doxing is definitely not illegal, since there's nothing, it's just public information. But you have to be like a doxing master to get stuff that is just, you know, you have to be able to find it. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I'm a sucking expert at doxing. Okay? Trolls come in here, and I can dox them like crazy. And another expert at doxing is Parent Dome. Right there. Parent Dome was pretty expert at doxing. So don't dox me, bro. I won't dox you, bro. So doxing is a dox me. Okay. Doxing is well, I have to admit, I am good at doxing. I'm good at it. So I have an instinct, you know. Just to give you an example, there was a app called Scoper Chat before. Scoper Chat. And Scoper Chat, the guy who started Scoper Chat, and I never revealed his name. Everyone was wondering who Scoper Chat was because he had the website, he had the site, you know, which spies on you. He made a site to spy on you on Periscope, and it's scoperchat.com. It's kind of inactive right now, but when he was doing that, people were wondering who Scoper Chat is. So they were like had rumors that it was, you know, that it was Bob the Cat or any number of people that they thought, you know, may have been affiliated with Scoper Chat. And so I started to say, well, who is this Scoper Chat guy? And sure enough, he hid himself very, very well. He hid himself very, very well. In fact, I would imagine that most of you would never figure out who he was. But you're dealing with a master here. You're dealing with the zucking master. You're dealing with the zucking master, and I zucking figured it out. I zucking figured it out, and I talked to him, and I said, well, you know, I know who you are. And we became friends. No, I never revealed. I've still never revealed. And it took me a while. He was kind of hidden. It was very, very hard to find him. What happened was, as I found out, as I doxed Scoper Chat, I realized that because people, I don't approve. As I doxed Scoper Chat guy, I learned that he's a good guy. I thought he was kind of a scary dude because, you know, he wouldn't reveal himself. When I actually discovered who he was and what he did and what he's done with his life, I said he's a good guy. You know, nothing. He's just being hidden, but he's a good guy. I'm the Russian who rigged the election. Yes, I'm Russian. So I decided that there was no point in revealing any information about him. He did nothing wrong, so I did not. And I actually protected him, and you know, he went to Brax.me. We talk, exchange information, and he's kind of like faded away right now. So Scoper Chat and I chatted and all that, and he turned out to be a cool person. Yeah, I'm not. This is. I don't sell them myself. It's scopingproducts.com is the one selling them. So no, I'm not selling them. So these are being sold for, and the profits of this are going to for helping people. So we will put the profits of this into helping people. Okay. So I did not. I'm very good with that. I don't just because I dox somebody that is. Was kind of suspicious because he was kind of suspicious because of how he behaved. People actually were scared of him here on Periscope. That's why I dug information on him. Okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't do that. I mean, you have to do it kind of like selectively. So I'd never reveal who he is and never will unless he reveals himself. I never will reveal who he is. So he's safe. He's safe. Oh, by the way, he's actually pretty good too because he said to me, Scoper Chat, I said, this is what I said to Scoper Chat. I said, I know who you are. And he responded, I know who you are too. So it's like, it would have been quite a battle if I revealed him and then he reveals me. So, you know, yeah, so we had to make sure that, you know, it was a stalemate. Stalemate! Stalemate. I wasn't going to reveal who he is. He doesn't reveal who I am. Okay? So, in contrast, let me tell you one who gets doxed all the time is Joe Simon. I mean, his entire scope is about zucking doxing. He's like attacked every zucking day. Every zucking day, somebody puts his real phone number, his real address, his real name on his zucking scope. Somebody, you know, some troll comes in there and publishes his personal information on the scopes. And he keeps going to, and just keeps scoping. And it's like, wow. I mean, that is like awful. And then he asked me for help. Unfortunately, there's something I'm going to give you a tip about. I'm going to give you a tip about doxing. The tip is, once the information is out there, it is zucking too late. Water. Sparkling water. Once the information out there is zucking too late, you cannot retrieve your information. Okay? Once you put it out there, you're gone. So the only safe solution is to be thinking ahead of time before you get doxxed. Don't go on the sucking internet and say and boast, I'm gonna go sucking Periscope and broadcast my life and then expect to be safe. Well, you know, if you didn't get prepared for it, you're not gonna be safe, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, it's very hard to be safe and it's very hard to hide information. Very, very hard. I can't even hide my information and I'm probably more advanced than any of you. I have not been able to hide it. However, I'm, you know, the information about me is limited, and it was the information about me is more recent, because you know, unfortunately, I'm too famous to actually hide, because you know, I'm famous where I am doing whatever I do here. So I'm gonna give you, we're gonna talk about things like this and see how you can protect yourself, because it's very important to understand that we can find him in the ocean as well. Gregory Hillman knows where to find me, even if he can't. If Gregory Hillman decides to dox me and he said, "Well, I can't find Rob," he just goes to the ocean and finds me, because he knows where I hang out. Favorite current Linux distro, all of them. I use Kali, I use Unix, I use you know, Ubuntu, and my servers are all Debian. So those are the ones I use a lot. I use the one for the Raspberry Pi, Raspi. What's the name of the distribution on Raspberry Pi? That one. So, so anyway, Windows sucks to build servers with. Who's sucking build servers on Windows? Not anymore. Raspbian, that's what it is. I used to use, for you know, 25 years, all my servers were always Windows. Suck that. Android is much worse than, unfortunately, an iPhone. I wish it weren't so, but it is. Anyway, how to dox for good purposes? Well, I dox actually only for good purposes. I don't dox to cause trouble for anyone. If somebody, for example, that Kill Bill guy, if he really got on my nerves and I wish to spend several hours trying to get him, because it takes a few hours, I'll dox him. Doxing, ZIA, yes. Doxing has to be used for a good purpose, and I do. There are trolls in here that have come here, and the next day I made a scope about them, just to prove a point. Because you can't sucking. I'm going to tell you right now, you think you don't have much on the internet, right? You think you don't have much. You think you're safe, and you do, hello, Gentle George. You don't zucking realize how much can be found about you. It's in so much detail, and you can use any kind of name in here. You can use any kind of name in here, and you're gonna make a zucking mistake, and I'm gonna find it. I've found some anonymous type people have come into my scope, not use their real name. They even had private pages on Zuckbook. Private pages on Zuckbook with all private. Zucking found everything. Everything. Okay? One guy came in here and started to troll me, and he really upset me. So I doxed him like crazy. I went and found him. I found him zucking Zuckbook. I found him on Zuckbook. I found him everywhere, but I found him mostly on Zuckbook. And then I found out all of his relatives on Zuckbook. That was kind of interesting. I found out that he supported Snowden. He supported Snowden. So I know he was very good, because he's kind of like, you know, anonymous-y type, because he was following Snowden and all that. But I still found it. I found everything about him. I mean, Zuck, found out where he lived. I found out everything. So anyway, I learned that he liked Snowden, so he came back to my scope, and I said, you know what? I think you're okay. You should, you know, you shouldn't be trolling, because you actually believe in the same things, which is anonymous. And he stayed. He became a fan. He stayed here, and he became a regular. That was cool, okay? And I never revealed, you know, his data, and you know, because if you turn to the good, then I protect you. So I did that, and yeah, he mega, I don't know, a bank account. The point is, if you think that you can go on the internet and say, oh, I'm, you know, pretty good at hiding. He was fairly good. It's pretty hard sometimes if you're good. if you're good at hiding on the internet, some people are good at that. They're much harder to find, but unfortunately, I'm relentless. I'm relentless, and I know all the little tricks. I know all the mistakes you will make on the internet, and in which case I will find you. So there, some people have these kinds of skills, and I'm one of them. And I also am a skilled at hacking if I have to do that. I don't, because I only do white hat hacking. How did you find my real name? I only do white hat hacking, but if you want to get hacked and you give me permission, I will hack you. If you give me permission, I needed a written permission, I will zucking hack you. I will not hack you without permission, because that's zucking illegal to hack without permission. But I will zucking hack you with permission. Yeah, who's posting on Brax? So one of the reasons I'm trying to tell you about the story about hacking and so on, the dangers of it, is because you are all zucking vulnerable. You're vulnerable. You can't go on the internet and expect that if you don't make an enemy here, that no one's gonna stalk you. They will zucking stalk you. They will stalk you. And even if you don't have anything on the internet but your zucking picture, they're gonna zucking find you. Especially if you're on Zuckbook, they will find your zucking picture and connect it to you. There are now image searches. You can now do a reverse image search on Google. That's one of the tricks. Reverse image searching. So you should be scared, and so you can't be in a position of where Joe Simon is right now, where zucking docs every single day on his scopes, and he's like always on the defensive. It's too late when you get to that point. I can't help you much at that point. The only way you can solve that is to kind of hack the opposition, which is what I do here. If you zucking docs me here, so hacking, again, for the newbies, hacking means somebody actually interferes with your computer system. When somebody interferes with your computer system directly, that's called hacking. Doxing is digging out information about you on the internet without touching your computer. It's basically, as far as you can go legally, because there's nothing illegal about doxing. So doxing is not illegal, hacking is. Hacking is illegal, doxing is not. So doxing means, getting in front. For example, Steve from Florida. Let's say that I've never doxed Steve from Florida. He's a good guy, he's a friend of mine. I would never dox him, okay? But let's say I said, okay, I'm gonna dox Steve from Florida. So let me just give you little things to just protect you a little bit more. Just make it difficult for the amateur doxer. It may not protect you from the the pro, but it will protect you from the amateur doxer. And I'll give you a few little tips. Tip number one is do not use your real name on Periscope. Anybody here using your real name on Periscope? Jane? Do not use your real name on Periscope. Don't use your real name on social media. Okay? Do not use your real name. Do not use your real name. That is number one tip, which means do not use social media that forces you to use your real name. Okay, so let me just tell you about some of the problems. One of the problems is if you go on social media on sites that require you to use your real name, such as real name like Facebook and LinkedIn, you are zucked. You are zucked. Zuckbook zucks you. Any app that requires you to use your real name, you are zucked. Okay, what if you are selling? There's you reverse. If you're selling your name, then you create an alternate identity for things that are not part of selling your name. You create an alternate identity. You do the reverse. So you leave your name out because it's already out there, and you then reverse everything. Okay? Because you can't do it. It's too late. Like, let's say you're a doctor, lawyer, whatever. Then you can't really go on social media with your real zucking name. If you're a doctor, lawyer, dentist, realtor, anything that uses your real zucking name, and you're zucking Facebook, suck. I mean, you're zucking yourself every day. And then suddenly you get into a fight with your in-laws or some ex on zucking Zuckbook. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine being a public figure, like a real estate, a famous real estate guy in the neighborhood, and your reputation on the internet is very important? Your reputation is very important in your neighborhood, and then somebody attacks you on Zuckbook and you can't delete it. So you're zucked. That's one of the problems with this. It's like this is permanent. This is permanent. Whatever you put on this never disappears. Never. Hacking people's YouTube. The bots. Yes. So one of the problems with being on Zuckbook is that the information that you're putting in is permanent. Here's the bad part. Whatever you put on Zuckbook, leave Zuckbook. There's in a separate scope, I explain this. Whatever you put on Zuckbook, leave Zuckbook, because Zuckbook does not really have any kind of privacy protection that protects your data. Not only is Zuckbook keeping your data forever, people are downloading your data using apps, and they're able to find a way around your privacy settings. And Zuckbook will never delete your data. That's in their EULA, never to delete. So combining the never to delete with people downloading your data and sending it to Spokeo, Intellius, been verified, People Finders, and all of these other sites that track you, and then they sell the zucking data on the zucking internet. So if you search your zucking name, then you find everything, where you live, what you've done, and now on top of that, your social media data. Right now, you need to delete Zuckbook, unfortunately, if you want to be safe. This is the only way. No, deactivate doesn't work. No, do not deactivate. No, don't deactivate. That doesn't do anything. Do not deactivate. I've tried that. Do not deactivate your account. I tried that and the data is still there. You must delete. You must delete your content. Start with the oldest data and start deleting your content. Now, after you delete your content, don't worry about deactivating until later. That's not the issue. Remove your content first. Now, if you remove your content, let me just tell you this. Your data is not removed by Facebook. However, it keeps it from being shared with Spokeo, Intellius, and all that. So it prevents it from leaking out. It prevents it from leaking out. So really, you have to remove your data. It's the only safest way. It gets de-indexed. Well, the indexing is a very special term, and I'd like to explain that to you. All of you, if I have a little smidgen of data about you, the first place I'm going to look to see if I can gather information about you is from Zuckbook. Yes, anonymous. From Zuckbook. So if you're on Zuckbook, I'm going to zuck you like crazy. I don't care what your privacy settings are. I can find you. I do not care what your privacy settings are. I will find you. Even after deleting all posts, after weeks, old ones will surface again. Yes, by hat. It took me months to delete from Facebook. And a year later, I came back thinking it's all gone. Then they all popped up still, a few more. So it's zucking crazy that people think that we're gonna zucking create accounts for you when you're like a zucking teenager, and it's cool. Let me tell you something. Parents, you're at fault. Parents, you know why parents want their kids to be on zucking Zuckbook? You know why parents want their kids on zucking Zuckbook? Because parents want to spy on their kids' activities. They figure if they go on Zuckbook and say, okay, I can see what my kids are doing and what they're up to, who see or their friends are, etc. Okay? What a zucking mistake. Zucking mistake. Because once you get into that, you don't understand that, you're not the one, the parent is not the one spying. I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to be frank with you. Okay? I was curious and I said, okay, my kid's going to college. And I said, I wonder where my kids' classmates are going to college. So using some special techniques I had on Facebook, I found out every college they're all going to or not going to. It's very interesting. Then you start to say, these are going to college with my kids. Let me see what the Zuck, who they are. Then oh, this kid is going to be my kid's roommate. Let me go find out information about this kid and his entire family. You can be completely private on Zuckbook, and I can find everything out. So I'm telling you, it's a very dangerous place to be. Very, very dangerous place to be. And I don't know why, you think you're on Zuckbook and everything is so peaceful and quiet, and you actually think you're having a good time because somebody's boasting about their vacations and how much more money they have. And you're actually thinking, this is cool. Zuckbook staff can see your IP and all private info. They don't have to sell to anyone. It's already being stolen without being sold. So Cactus Sparkle. So what's a good replacement then? I have a replacement. My app. I have an app. I have an app that doesn't zucking track you. Yes. Yes, I have a zucking app. Doxing is when people dig out information about you, and doxing is the equivalent of hacking without really breaking into your computer. Doxing is, the app is called Brax.me. Doxing is the equivalent of finding information about you, digging it out, and then exposing you, and maybe stalking you. My point is, stay away from social media that tracks your real name. Now, having said that, don't think that you are safe on Instagram. Apparently, Instagram's copy of Snapchat is now bigger than Snapchat. Instagram is owned by Zuckbook, which means they can match you to Zuckbook. Okay, let me repeat that. Instagram is on the same Zucking servers as Facebook. Let me repeat. Instagram is on the same Zucking servers as Facebook. It's on the same servers. They moved it. When they bought Instagram, they moved it to the same servers. It is there now. You don't think they can match your IP addresses to your account on Zucking Zuckbook and find you? Even if you don't use the same name on Instagram? Are you Zucking crazy? What about WhatsApp? What about WhatsApp? You say, I'm going to use this encrypted app for conversations called WhatsApp. You don't think they can find your account on Zuckbook with WhatsApp? They own all of that. The metadata can be matched. Okay? Yeah, WhatsApp the same. So I wouldn't, Zuck, no, I wouldn't trust any Zuck product. No Zucking way. Braxme is more secure than Signal. Braxme is more secure than Telegram. Braxme is more secure than Wicker. Braxme is more secure than all of that. It's Zucking more secure. Zucking more secure. How is Braxme legal? Why is it illegal? Did I do anything illegal? Is encryption illegal? Encryption is not illegal. Braxme is like a private internet. Really. And how about going into a environment where you're doing social media and no one really knows? You're ghosting. Zuck, guys. Wouldn't you enjoy social media more if you go out and talk about anything, you get into fights, you get into arguments, and nobody knows who you are anyway? Okay, I mean, look at the satisfaction you get when you go to social media where nobody really knows anything about you. I mean, it's Zucking cool. That's what I can say. I think it's Zucking cool. How many users does Brax have? Over 100,000. Over 100,000 users. Okay? Braxme is free. Yeah, Braxme has over 100,000 users. Braxme, why should I trust to download it? Then don't. Then don't. I mean, nobody has to force you to do anything. Here's what I say. So this is, somebody said this to me. I'm scared of this Braxme. I'm scared of the Zucking app, Braxme. This is really scary because all of this encryption. It's really scary. I'm gonna stay on Facebook. Zuck! What the Zuck? Oh, I'm gonna I'll take you out of prison. I'll take you out of prison. And you say, no, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. That's so scary. I'm not going to get into your car. I'm going to stay in Zucking prison with all these bad guys in here. I'm going to stay in prison. I'm not going to get into your car. Braxme has encrypted private communities and social media. Private communities. Braxme has an app for private communities. So you can create a private community, basically social media in isolated social media. We don't have a profile on you. On Facebook, everything is about you, your profile. This one is about interaction without the profile. Is it live music? Yes, it's live music. There's live music. There's recorded DJing music. There's talk shows. There's any number of things that goes on all the time. So users, yes. There's a lot of business users because the app is being, in fact, that's how I make my money, from business users. Yes, the app is Brax.me on App Store, Google Play, and also you can use it on a computer. You can mostly use all. I use it on all devices. I have, Android, Google. I use the same account on all, so I can access it on everything. Facebook has nothing to do with me. Zuckbook.net I own that domain. I own Zuckbook.net. I also own whatthezuck.net. It's on my profile, Brax.me. So a lot of people are on there. Go join and hang out. And I made an app where no one can profile you. Your stuff is so Zucking encrypted that I don't know what you're Zucking doing. There's no way to go back, and because it has end-to-end encryption and everything, there's no way to know what you're Zucking doing on it. If you're having a conversation on the app, no one knows what you're Zucking doing. Can you promise that Zuckbook can do that? No. Zuckbook, Google, all of these sites, they sell your Zucking data. And what happens when your data leaks from Facebook and Google? What happens? They dox you. You get doxed. If you don't know what doxing means, that's when they dig out information about you and know everything about your life from the Zucking internet, where they stalk you and attack you and hack you and so on. You need to ghost. The purpose of BAM, the purpose of an app like Brax.me is for you to ghost on the Zucking internet. How safe is Dropbox? Not. There's no Zucking encryption on Dropbox. What are you talking about? What is the encryption on Dropbox, please? There's none. And you're putting your files in Dropbox? Crazy. Yes, do it, do it. I can't believe this. I'll tell you something other people are doing. Say, okay, I'm going to dictate a memo. And then what do you use to dictate the memo? Siri. Siri. Okay? What do you think happens when you dictate a memo on Siri? First of all, your voice goes to Apple. Apple then keeps your voice. They do. It's in the EULA. It's the end user license agreement. We Zucking keep your voice. It says so. It says so. So every time you use voice recognition, you're sending your voice to be stored at Apple. Apple then processes your data and translates it to text, which they also keep. They send you the text back. But they have to keep the text that you have to compare to see if their recognition was good. They keep it. How long do they keep it? They don't say. Idea, they do not say. They don't say how long they keep it. How safe is iCloud? Nothing, without any kind of encryption, nothing is safe. Braxme is different. Braxme is completely encrypted. By the way, Braxme runs on the Amazon AWS platform. Braxme runs on the AWS platform, which is, a massive platform as it is, from Amazon. And what I do on Brax.me is that I actually don't trust Amazon, so I encrypt it so that the people at Amazon, let's say that somebody from the government went to Amazon and said, we're gonna take this data right here. We're not gonna tell this Braxme people, but we wanna take a copy of that data. And you know what my response to that is? Go ahead. I actually designed it with the idea that I expect people would do that. I expect it. Is Watson safe? No. I expect that people will take the data. So I encrypt it. I encrypt the database. I encrypt everything. And I actually go live and show you what's on the database. It is Zucky encrypted all the way. And you can't just decrypt it. It uses something similar to one-time pads, which means every piece of comment has a different Zucking key. Everything has a different key. The key is locked up in a server that's computed. There's actually, the key is actually not stored as a key. The key is computed. Each piece of data has a little token. It presents a token, and then it returns the key. It computes it from the token. And it's completely random number generated. And it only retrieves the key when you're reading it. So, and then if you enable end-to-end encryption, no Zucking way. When you add end-to-end encryption, you can turn on end-to-end encryption, and there's no way. I mean, no one can build a backdoor when end-to-end encryption is on. You are safe. You are Zucking safe. I keep all my data on Brax. It's safer than my own hard drive. It's safer than anything I own here because I know where I keep it is safer. So I put my own data on it. I trust it with my own private data. So if you want to go steal it, then go give it a try. I take photos on my iPhone, and I store the photos directly onto Brax. How do I get Braxme? It's on the App Store. It's on the App Store, iOS, Android, and also on the web. You can run it on the web. Okay. Many people from Anonymous are on my scope. I've been scoping for 2 years. A lot of anonymous people come back here. So I learned little tips from anonymous people. Talk about encrypted money transfer. Encrypted money, I don't worry about that. Encrypted money transfer, as long as you're not worried about the government knowing about the transfer. The government knows you did the transfer. Like saying, can I use PayPal? Is it safe? Yeah, PayPal is safe. As long as you're not saying I'm hiding from the government. If you're hiding from the government, no, company. But if you're saying, is PayPal safe for normal? Yeah, it is. Financial companies usually do all the encryption things. Right. So I'll see you all on the flip side on Brax.me. So if you're not on Brax.me and you want to hang out, please. Brax.me app or website, and see us there. Go to Find Music Radio and hang out with us there. We're gonna be there tonight and all the time. Okay? So I'll see you there. Bye-bye.